Bring you the C-suite, where we get to speak to extraordinary individuals occupying the corner office and making waves in their industry. They chat to us about the journey to where they are, as well as some of the intricacies involved in fulfilling their tasks. Today, we host Ayanda Kotobe, who heads up the finance department at RS South Africa. Now, they are a provider of industrial and electronic solutions. Her key role there is to ensure that people are paid on time and accurately. And oh, what an important role that is. Also, she's there to support the company in implementing its strategic objectives. Ayanda had to navigate deeply entrenched biases in what really is a predominantly male-dominated sector. She joins us now. A very good afternoon to you, Ayanda. Welcome to Africa in Business.
Afternoon, Thami. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
I tell you what, your position as far as ensuring that people are paid on time and accurately, I'm sure is very much appreciated within your corporation. Tell us more about some of the key highlights of your work.
I think saying that I'm responsible for ensuring that people are paid on time as well as accurately is the simplest way I can speak about my job and my role in the company. But we all know that for any entity to exist in South Africa, we have to operate within the laws that govern South Africa. So my role spans across making sure that our finances are in order, looking at the legal aspects as well as taxation, governance, and controlling functions. But most importantly, it also encompasses making sure that we meet our strategic objectives and we carry out our strategy as a company.
Can you share your finance journey with us and perhaps some of the hurdles that you had to deal with along the way?
Growing up, I suppose, I've always had this thing in my head, right? And I think it probably related to the power dressing and suits. I've always wanted to be a businesswoman, not knowing what a businesswoman does, but I think I was motivated by that. But as I grew older and I understood what business entailed and finance entailed, I've always wanted to be a part of making decisions in the finance space, but decisions that impact lives, but decisions that also change lives. And I think that's what's directed me to where I am today, in that I'm part of that decision making and I can impact lives and I can change lives. But it hasn't been an easy journey. I think most people can attest to what South Africa looks like, and that is mostly because of the history. You know, systematically in South Africa, you don't see a lot of African Black females in high-ranking finance positions, and that's because of our history. So for me, that would have been the challenge. It's walking into those rooms where you sit in the room and not a lot of people in the room look like you, sound like you, you know. So you've got the imposter syndrome, because how do you share your views with people that don't look like you? But how do you also aspire for things that you don't really know of? So that has been the challenge, the imposter syndromes, the breaking the barriers and trying to shatter glass ceilings. And you're thinking, well, we're sitting in 2025, surely things should have changed, but we still have inherited that systematic, call it boundaries, and we're still trying to break through that. And for me, that I would say has been the biggest challenge in my career.
I mean, apart from your being a fundi and an expert in all matters financial, you're also described as a social impact enthusiast. Could you talk to us more about that? The importance of social impact as well as transformative leadership.
Social impact, Thami, thank you. Social impact for me, I think, I mean, I'm even shaking just thinking about it, but it means a lot to me, because I am where I am today because someone believed in me. You know, someone decided to pay it forward, and that's what helped me get to where I am. And because of where I am today, I'm able to change the lives of my family and my community. And working at RS, I think one of our biggest objective, if I can call it that, and why we exist, is to make amazing happen. But not only make amazing happen for the people that work for us, but also in our community. So I've I'm very invested in social impact in my personal capacity because I want to pay it forward. I want to see more kids come out of Soweto and do the most with their lives, as well as change their families and communities. But also, I want to help carry out ARIS South Africa's strategy in that we want to make amazing happen for the communities that we work in, because most of the people that we then hire, the students that we give bursaries to, and our employees' children that we take through school, those are our communities, and those would be our future customers. But also, those are the people who, if we invest in them, they in turn go and invest in their communities. And it's just this nice vicious circle where we're changing lives, but we're doing it one person at a time, same way it was done for me growing up.
I literally have goosebumps talking to you right now, Ayanda. And this slogan, Make Amazing Happen, is that your personal slogan or is that the RS slogan?
It's definitely the RS slogan, but tell you what, Thami, I embody it every day, and you must see our people and our staff. Everyone at RS, it's our mantra. You know, we make amazing happen, and we make amazing happen within our teams, within our communities, for our customers, for our suppliers. But it's literally our daily mantra. We make amazing happen.
So you are the financial director at RS. Tell us more about the company.
RS South Africa, we are based in Midrand, in Kyalami. I think you've also mentioned that we are a distributor of industrial and electronic components within South Africa. Most people would be familiar with us, but in most cases, we deal a lot with businesses. So we are a B2B company, and a majority of our sales take place through e-commerce. But we are part of a multinational entity, which is listed in the UK. So you can understand the nuances that come with being part of a multinational. But we also have our own nuances in South Africa, as our staff is very diverse, and we invest a lot in having a diverse workforce, because having a diverse workforce also helps us in terms of our ideas and our strategy and what we carry out, because South Africa is a very diverse country. So we try and make sure that our workforce also looks a lot like how our communities look.
And talking about that and the importance of being represented and representation, finance as a sector is still very much male dominated. How do we go about ensuring gender equity in that space?
True. That is so true. And for me personally, and before I answer your question, for me personally, I think as a country, in South Africa specifically, I think we still not close to achieving equity in the finance space. And why I say that, I think because systematically where we come from, and call it the graduates that we produce and how currently our workforce looks, I think that the scales are not favorable for women, and that's where I think we need to work on. We need to work on those scales. We need to try and bring women closer, because women have been left behind for so long, before we can then say, let's look at equity, let's look at equitable policies and procedures. I think we need to first try and bring the women into the field before we then level the playing field, and that's going to take a lot from grassroots all the way up to corporate South Africa.
I tell you what, Ayanda, lovely chatting to you and wishing you all the best as you continue making amazing happen.
Thank you so much, Thami, and thank you for having me this afternoon.
It's been a pleasure, ma'am. That's Ayanda Kotobe. She's finance director at RS South Africa. She takes us to exactly 4:51.